At 11:15 p.m., Marcus sat at his kitchen island. Thursday. He's a senior project manager at a logistics company, earning $145,000 a year. The neighbors believes he is rich. His parents are proud of him. He drives a 2-year-old luxury SUV that smells of leather and success, and lives in a 4-bedroom home in a highly rated school district. He's now staring at a spreadsheet on his laptop, his chest tightening, trying to figure out how to cover a debt minimum of $3,000 a month without wiping out the last $1,200 in his checking account. The numbers don't add up. Objectively, he is in the top tier of earners in the country. Subjectively, he has a high income. But the outflow of cash is a constant waterfall of car loans, personal loans for the kitchen remodel, and 3 credit cards that have somehow maxed themselves out from living a life he thought was perfectly normal. He fiddled with a few numbers. He erased a cell. He calculated his next paycheck. It didn't change the facts. He shut the laptop. He didn't tell his partner. What was there to say? My name is Scott, and today we are going to dismantle the single most expensive lie that the financial media and the banking industry has ever sold to the American middle class. Because Marcus is not an outlier. He is the average statistic, and the system is fully dependent on him being too ashamed to talk about it. If you're tired of making good money but feeling like you're constantly drowning under a mountain of monthly payments, hit that subscribe button. Because today we're talking about the math nobody bothered to teach you, and the $3,000 a month debt payoff strategy that actually works. You can't cut your way out of massive structural debt by skipping restaurants and buying generic cereal and canceling streaming services. When you're drowning in thousands of dollars of monthly payments, shaving $50 off your entertainment budget is like trying to drain the ocean with a teaspoon. The strategy no one talks about is brutal, it is deeply uncomfortable, and it requires systematically dismantling the lifestyle you built to impress people you don't even really like. You have the money already to be free. You are only using it to support an illusion. So first off, the uncomfortable truth of the market baseline. The latest report from the Federal Reserve on household debt shows that total U.S. household debt has hit a record $18.8 trillion. Average American household with credit card debt owes just under $8,000 and is paying an average interest rate of about 24%. Take that in. Interest 24%. At the same time, auto loan balances have exploded, with the average new car payment now over $748 a month. Many of those car loans are stretched out to 84 months. That's 7 years of payments on a machine that depreciates every time you turn the key. The system wants you to carry this debt forever. It's designed for you to pay the minimum payment until the day you die. We have normalized a level of financial insecurity that would have freaked out past generations, completely. We call that building credit. The banks say it's highly predictable compounding revenue. So let's do the math so you can see the trap clearly. Let's see how someone making $145,000 a year ends up drowning. Because $145,000 sounds like absolute freedom. You sound like you've won the game. But let's compare the costs and watch the money go. Marcus gets about $8,500 a month after federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and health insurance premiums. That's his real money, living money. The gross is vanity. The net is reality. Now subtract the mortgage payment on the $450,000 house. That's $2,900 a month, including property taxes and homeowner's insurance. First, he has to pay for the mid-size luxury SUV because his old car had 80,000 miles on it, and society told him he deserved an upgrade for his promotion, which is $850 a month. Then there's the personal loan for the backyard patio they had installed last summer so they could host neighborhood barbecues, $400 monthly. Finally, we get to the credit cards. $35,000 in consumer credit card debt across 3 cards, with an average interest rate of 23.6%. Just the minimum payments are $1,200 a month. Let's total this line by line. Mortgage, $2,900. Car payment, $850. Personal loan, $400. Credit card minimums, $1,200. Before you buy a single bag of groceries, pay your electricity bill, put gas in that heavy SUV, or buy your kid a pair of shoes, your total fixed monthly obligation is sitting at roughly $5,350. Marcus is spending 63% of his net income just to keep his life in scaffolding. And here's the part that should scare you. Of that $1,200 credit card payment, nearly $700 is going to interest. It doesn't reduce the principal. It does not bring him nearer to freedom. It's just a penalty fee for living beyond his means, paid every single month to a bank that posted record profits last quarter. That's not a number. That's a prison sentence. That's lying awake at 2 a.m. doing mental math about whether you can afford to replace the brake pads this month, or if you should push it to next month and just pray it doesn't rain. That's what it means to be house poor and car poor at the same time. Marcus is an aspirational loser in our parlance. He makes well above the national median. By all standards, he did everything right. Went to college, got the corporate job, bought the house in the suburbs, bought the reliable premium SUV. He succeeded in the way society told him success looked. But the math isn't there yet. He is structurally trapped because the baseline cost of participating in the upper middle class project has gone up beyond what a normal salary can provide. Marcus runs his finger down the line items in his budget, and there is just no fat left to trim. The groceries are already generics. The holidays haven't come around in 2 years. Every extra dollar goes to pay off debt. This is how that feels on a day-to-day basis. It's like putting on a very expensive, very heavy suit of armor that is dragging you down into the water. You are drowning. Actively. But to all the people on the shore, you look amazing. And you feel like you can't ask for a life preserver because you look so successful. Marcus bought the SUV and paid for the patio because everyone around him was doing the same thing. His colleague bought a boat. His neighbor just installed a pool. His friends are posting pictures from their second trip to Europe this year. But here is the illusion breakdown. When you look at your neighbors and colleagues, you are looking at an unseen iceberg. You see the truck, the house, the clothes, the trips. You don't see the huge amounts of buy now, pay later debt silently supporting those purchases. You don't see the parental wealth transfers paying their down payments or bailing them out of bad months. You don't see the quiet panic behind closed doors when the credit card bills come in. The financial industry has sold you on the idea that going into debt to look rich is a rite of passage of adulthood. Real money is silent, fake money is noisy. The louder the lifestyle, the less real wealth supporting it. You are comparing your one real income against someone else's invisible mountain of dangerous debt. This is a rigged race, and you are losing exactly because you agreed to play by their rules. Let me tell you who is winning this race. Banks profit from customers who carry a balance from month to month. The dealership makes money by extending your car loan to 84 months so that you can afford the monthly payment on a car you have no business driving. And credit card companies make money if you pay the minimum 24% interest every month. So your balance stays the same, and they get thousands of dollars from your future. No one in that transaction has any financial motivation to be truthful to you. If you drive a 10-year-old sedan and live below your means and invest the difference, they make $0. But there is no financial incentive for anyone in the transaction to match yours. When the deal is done, they all go home. You go home to the debt. The system is designed to make as much money off of you as possible, for as long as possible. Each default option, each minimum payment calculation, each pre-approved loan offer is perfectly designed to keep you addicted. This is no failure of self-responsibility. That's the system working as it should. You didn't build it. You did not ask for it. If someone is telling you to just budget better or grind harder, and they're ignoring the structural context, they're not doing you any favors. Let me take care of the 3 things you're actually thinking right now. Not the polite theoretical objections, the visceral, actual ones. You're saying to yourself, Scott, I can't sell my car, I have to have reliable transportation to get to work, so I don't get fired. Or you are thinking, Scott, I can't stop my retirement contributions, I'll miss out on compound growth and completely mess up my future. And finally, you are thinking, I don't have an extra $3,000 a month to pay off debt. I am already stretched to the absolute limit. Let's slay these objections with data. The car first. You don't need a $40,000 SUV to get to work. You need a ride. That same office, at that same time, can be had in a used car for $10,000. And you won't have a huge monthly payment sucking the wealth out of you. The car doesn't improve your work. It only makes you poorer. Secondly, the investment. The math is brutal and undeniable. There is no investment in the world that will consistently out-earn 24% interest rate on credit cards if you are paying it. Over the long run, the S&P 500 has returned about 10% per year. If you're making 10% in the market and paying 24% to the bank, you're losing wealth every day. You are walking up an up escalator. It's mathematical self-destruction. Third, the money. You figure you can't afford the $3,000 a month to throw at your debt. Nah, you're wrong. You do, it's just tied up in the necessary scaffolding of your lifestyle right now. It's the car payment, the inflated insurance premium on the expensive car, the subscriptions, the dining out, the minimum payments themselves. When you take away the scaffolding, there's money. Look at Fidelity data. They pour over the 401k millionaires' accounts. the folks who actually made it to the destination and built real wealth. They have more than 595,000 of them in their system. These people didn't get rich by financing depreciating assets to impress the neighbors. On average, these contribute 14.1% of their salary over an average of 26 years. Nothing strange. No day trading crypto. Just consistent, automatic, long-term investing, made possible because they didn't have massive car payments and credit card debt eating their cash flow. Or look at real wealth builders of history, like Ronald Read. He was a Vermont gas station attendant and janitor who never made more than $20,000 a year. He drove a rusty 2007 Toyota Yaris and sported a jacket held together with safety pins. His colleagues joked about how stingy he was. He died at 92, leaving an estate valued at over $8 million. He bought dividend stocks every week for 70 years and never sold them. His coworkers had no idea, working beside multimillionaires for decades and making fun of his rusty car. Then there is Grace Groner, a secretary who bought 3 shares of stock in 1935 for $180, reinvested the dividends, and died with $7.2 million. She lived in a little house and bought her clothes at rummage sales. These people are living proof that your outcome is determined by your behavior, not your income or ability to project wealth. And if you want market history to back this up, look to the Dalbar behavioral study. This shows that the average equity fund investor is wildly underperforming the market every year, and it is mostly because they make emotional timing decisions based on financial anxiety. People panic sell when the market drops due to the anxiety of carrying massive amounts of consumer debt. Debt doesn't just cost you interest, it costs you the ability to be a rational investor. Why are we doing this? Why do smart, well-paid people walk into these traps so readily? It's called lifestyle inflation, and your brain is working against you. Research shows that nearly 78% of people say they will save more money after getting a raise. Very few people do, unless it's automated. Your brain sees extra money, and it instantly recognizes that it can go buy a slightly better version of things you already own. We also have present bias. Your 200,000-year-old brain prefers the simple status symbol of a new car today to the more complex idea of financial freedom 20 years from now. It was built to eat the berries now, not save them for a retirement it can't conceive. And we have, on top of that, loss aversion. The pain of losing $100 is more than twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining $100. And that's why people don't sell the car they can't afford. It feels like it's a status loss to sell, but holding on to it is destroying their financial future. And finally, we are seeing an epidemic of doom spending. 1 in 5 Americans goes on a spending spree due to economic anxiety. We are actually increasing our debt load to deal with the stress of too much debt. It's retail therapy on a civilizational scale. This is not a defect of character. That is a very human reaction to a system that denied you the map, told you that success meant consumption, and gave you unlimited high-interest credit to do it. So how do you actually do the $3,000 a month debt payoff strategy? You need a hard reset. You have to quit playing defense and start playing offense. This is exactly how you do it first, and the exact order in which you do it. Step 1. Stop all investing now, except for whatever gets you your employer 401k match. Don't leave free money on the table, because nothing beats credit card interest like a 50% or 100% employer match. But at any part of the match is paused and rerouted. You cannot build wealth when that 24% interest rate is actively destroying it. Step 2. Accumulate a $1,000 cash reserve. The Federal Reserve says nearly 40% of U.S. adults couldn't pay for a $400 emergency with cash. You need a buffer so you quit throwing new emergencies on the credit card. This is prior to additional debt payments. If you blow a tire tomorrow, you need to have cash to fix it so you don't derail your whole payoff plan. Third step. Liquidate the performance of the riches. This is the step nobody talks about because it hurts your ego. Sell the costly car, reduce the truck size, sell the jet skis in the garage. If you are underwater on the car, meaning you owe more than it is worth, take out a small personal loan from a local credit union to cover the difference, sell the car, buy a reliable beater in cash, and free up that huge $850 monthly payment and the expensive comprehensive insurance that comes with it. You are swapping momentary humiliation for eternal liberty. Step 4. Put all that extra cash, including investment dollars you don't need anymore, such as car payments you eliminated and insurance premiums you lowered, toward the debt with the highest interest rate first. Not the slightest balance. The maximum interest rate. This is called the avalanche method, and mathematically it is the absolute fastest way to stop the bleeding. You attack that 24% credit card with everything you have until it's dead, Then you take that whole payment and roll it into the next highest interest rate. Step 5. Automate the payments. Set it up for the day your paycheck hits your account so your brain doesn't have the chance to look at your balance and think you have extra money to spend. The less you have to actively decide to pay off the debt, the faster the debt goes away. The longer you wait to make these uncomfortable choices, the more the system steals from you, day after day. If you wait 1 year to attack a $35,000 credit card balance at 24% interest, you will bleed over $8,000 in pure interest right now. That's $8,000 out of your future to pay for your past. Wait 5 years, and the target is pulling away faster than you can ever catch up. There's a version of you that lives 5 years from now. That person has no debts of any kind. They get to keep the whole paycheck. They are investing big. Money is not a concern for them. They sleep the whole night. They are free. And there is another version. Still 5 years out, still juggling minimum payments, still stressed, still buying meds with plastic, working part-time because they have to, one emergency away from catastrophe, wondering where all the money went. The answer is interest payments and cars that lost their value years ago. You are both of these people. The only thing that makes you become real is what you do in the next 30 days. Go be dull. Use your real nose. And if the math doesn't add up, walk away. No shame in that. There is no prize for purchasing something that makes you miserable. Your call. Mathematics.